Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a frigid Saturday. I'm Jordan Smith. These dangerously cold temperatures hanging around for a second straight day. Today, those temps went colder than -10 in many of our communities. So right away, we'll send things over to meteorologist Matt Gray. And Matt, it's going to get a little warmer, but not by much.
Yeah, a little warmer, but boy, that's relative when you're talking about all this Arctic air here in the inland Northwest. And yeah, we were frigid this morning, and we're not that much warmer here now that the sun has set tonight. We're down to 4 below right now in Coeur d'Alene. We're at 1 below in Spokane. Look out past 15 below. We are seeing some areas though that are actually getting a little bit warmer now, as we're at 1 above in Lewiston. We're at 2 above in Pullman. A little bit of cloud cover moving in will do that for you, and that's one of the reasons why we are expecting some warmer temperatures across the region tonight. And look at Bonners Ferry. We've actually been warmed up just a little bit there too, from -11 to -9. But the wind chill is still a huge problem, especially across North Idaho, where it feels anywhere between -20 and -30, factoring in that wind, and that is frostbite in 10 to 15 minutes if you are not dressed properly. And take a look at that wind chill and look out past. Feels like 40 below in the mountains. Wind chill warning continues until noon Sunday. We'll start to see our winds ease off after that. Just part of the slow, and I mean slow, warm up. So it will be warmer tonight in the metro. We'll see temperatures in the single digits below 0 and a balmy 8 degrees for tomorrow. I'm tracking more warmer weather as we get into the work week and Martin Luther King Day, plus some snow you'll want to know about in your extended forecast.
All right, Matt, a lot to keep an eye on there. Thank you. And tonight, that obvious urgent need to stay warm. Shelters are filling up, with many trying to hunker down and make it through this Arctic blast. There's limited available beds throughout Spokane, but churches and other shelters are doing what they can to make space and bring in anyone off these frigid streets. Marissa Rio has the story.
Well, Jordan, it's super cold out here, as you can imagine, and some people don't have the luxury of bundling up indoors. I spoke with one man who was warming up inside of the Spokane Public Library downtown, and he said having places like this are super helpful. He also said they offer more than just warmth.
Other places have also opened their doors to help make sure people can get out of the cold. As of last night, the city of Spokane opened up the Cannon Street shelter. It will remain open through Thursday. Many were taking advantage of the extra space today. The downtown Spokane Public Library also had a lot of people seeking warmth. One man who stays at an overnight shelter said the library offers him a place to stay warm during the day.
It really helps if you're staying outside to be able to de-thaw and get warm again. Just make sure your vitals are okay before going back outside. They do food here too for the peer tutor support, 11 to 2 and then 2 to 3. So that helps us out as well.
The library said a lot of people have been utilizing the space.
It's been busier as of late since we've become a warming center. Lots of people want to take advantage of the space, of course. Lots of people just kind of hang out here in the Commons area just to keep warm. We have the computer lab, which a lot of people utilize.
One Spokane Public Library also had items like gloves and beanies for those who were using the space for warmth. These 4 library locations will stay open on Martin Luther King Jr. Day to provide an indoor space for those escaping these frigid temperatures. Last night, Knox Presbyterian Church also opened its doors for 20 people who have been identified as those who need a place to stay. The church told 4 News Now that they don't have much, but they're willing to make sacrifices to make sure people can stay safe. Reporting in Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you for that. On Friday, Avista asked all of its natural gas customers to conserve gas through today because of a mechanical issue with a natural gas line. And tonight, it's now asking customers to conserve electricity as well. Late this afternoon, Avista spokesperson Jared Webley said that crews are working to repair a mechanical issue with the transmission pipe near the Canadian border, which provides the tri-state area with natural gas. That's Avista's natural gas, and basically that puts Avista's natural gas and electrical plants under more pressure, which is why they're asking customers to cut back on energy use. And they say that you can help by turning down the thermostat 2 degrees and keeping doors shut to retain heat within rooms. They recognize that this is a very difficult ask given the cold snap that we're facing right now. More information is expected to be released here in the near future. Well, we now know the names of the people that were caught in that deadly avalanche in the mountains of North Idaho, as well as the man who was killed. The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office says Corey Zaleski died on the mountain, and the 2 men rescued have been identified as Landon Crecilius and Dave Sitzer. That avalanche happened here on your screen there on Stevens Peak, just inside the Idaho-Montana border, near Lookout Pass. It's a popular area for backcountry skiers and snowmobilers. That avalanche sweeping down the mountain and trapping the 3 men Thursday afternoon. Landon and David telling 4 News Now today that the 3 were trained in backcountry traveling following a backcountry protocol. Police were notified through a Garmin GPS alert indicating that there may have been a fatality on the mountain. With temperatures dropping, rescue crews were able to communicate with and locate Crecilius and Sitzer through a GPS texting device. After speaking with the 2 men, police believed that Zaleski had died at the scene. They called off the search for the night on Thursday and organized a retrieval mission to recover his body Friday morning. All 3 of the men were alumni of Whitworth University, and the man who died, Corey Zaleski, earned his master's in 2014 and worked on the institutional advancement team at the university at the start of his career. Whitworth's president, Scott McQuilkin, said this about Corey, quote, Corey was known for his positivity, sense of humor, energy, intelligence, and love of being active outdoors. And there are avalanche warnings currently in place for St. Regis, Montana and Idaho's Silver Valley. Despite those warnings, people will still head into the backcountry this weekend, and they do need to be prepared. Backcountry skier Josh Anderson says this tragedy hits close to home for this small community. He says in case of an emergency, carrying devices like a transmitter and a Garmin GPS are essential so that you can be located and get in touch with the Sheriff's Department if needed. Anderson says that the best advice he can offer is to choose your company carefully.
What will make you feel the safest is the people who you surround yourself with when you're out there. I ride with very educated riders. I ride with people who I can put my own trust of my own life into their hands. And I think that's a very important thing to remember is you're on your own when you're out in the backcountry.
Anderson says his heart goes out to the 3 riders at Stevens Peak and to their families. New developments tonight on a deputy shooting in South Spokane last year. An independent investigation team is sending recommendations to the prosecutor to determine if deputies were justified in their use of lethal force against an armed man. This happened near Moran Prairie Elementary School last April. Investigators were trying to arrest a man when they say he pulled out a gun and fired. 3 deputies fired back. They eventually tased the man and placed him under arrest. The prosecutor will review the investigative team's findings and determine if deputies were within their rights to fire their guns. This Spokane County sex offender has done his time, but he's not a free man yet. Daniel Gard was declared a sexually violent predator, meaning he'll be sent to the Special Commitment Center for Sex Offenders on McNeil Island. Convicted back in 2000, Gard raped 5 young girls between the ages of 3 and 10. He could legally be committed to the facility indefinitely. Gard has a mental condition that makes him likely to reoffend. Well, still plenty more here on 4 News Now at 6 tonight. The latest on that investigation into an Alaska flight that lost its door plug minutes into the flight. Passengers on the plane now suing the airline.
And it remains dangerously cold, and the wind chills remain a problem here tonight. But we are going to be warming up, and by the time we get into the middle of this week, we are going to be talking about something much different. A decent chance for a good amount of snow that'll really change the landscape here on our weather cam, and a largely snowless downtown Spokane, at least for now. Your forecast coming up.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Roofs by Premier.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. And want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
4 News Now is brought to you by Everhart Painting.
Oh boy, it was cold this morning, and thankfully it is not going to be this cold again for a long time as we start the warm-up here through tonight and into tomorrow. There's not a more appropriate place in the inland Northwest right now than Good Grief, Idaho in Boundary County. Viewer report of 36 below zero this morning, and I believe it too, because there were some spots that were getting close to 40 below zero just across the state line in the Yak River Valley in western Montana. Meanwhile, Fernwood was down to 28 below in the this morning. Colville got down to minus 26. Winthrop to minus 25. Deer Park was down to 22 below zero. Some of these local airports, I tell you what, some clear skies and some clear area and some snow on the ground in some of our northern communities really made a big difference with how cold some of these got, where for Spokane, snowless and 10 below, still quite impressive. Speaking of snow, it is a huge mess on the I-84 corridor, and as you work your way into Portland, snow is coming into the Tri-Cities right now. We may see a few flakes of snow as well in the Pomeroy area, or as you work your way south towards places like Starbuck and Walla Walla. Now, this is mostly going to miss us, but the cloud cover is one of the reasons why, and some of the warmer, more moist air that it's pushing in to the inland Northwest. One of the reasons why we are seeing the warmer temperatures tonight and for the rest of the weekend. But let's show you what's going to happen here as we head into the middle of the week, because you need to be aware of this, folks. This looks like it is going to be quite snowy. So as we head into the Tuesday commute, and then as we head into the Wednesday morning commute, and really through the entirety of the day on Wednesday, it looks like the vast majority of the precipitation that's going to fall with this next storm is going to be snow, and the odds for some heavier snowfall amounts are about as high as we have seen all season long. Take a look at this. Our model's showing chance for 4 more inches of snow in the Spokane area, 70% right now. These are pretty high, so this is something we're going to be watching very quickly. I'm going to bring you some more details here as we start to dial things down heading into tomorrow on 4 News Now. As for right now, it is more of the same. It is bitterly cold. The wind chills are still a huge problem out there right now. Here's your temperatures for tonight. It is still going to be pretty darn cold, but I tell you what, not nearly as cold as we saw last night. Even see some areas like Othello, which will be above zero. Same goes for Moses Lake. So we're getting warmer. It's just taking a really long time. It is still going to be quite cold on Martin Luther King Day in the morning. In fact, still likely to be sub-zero around Spokane. So if you are doing some outdoor activities to honor Dr. King in the morning, really bundle up for your safety, and then we'll be keeping an eye on that snow for you.
All right, Matt, some good advice there. Thanks for that. Now to the mounting pressure on Boeing following the in-flight blowout of a door plug on that Alaska Airlines flight a week ago that flew out of Portland. The FAA promising tighter oversight of Boeing production, while some passengers are now suing the airline. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has the story.
This morning, a frightening new close-up look of that harrowing incident on an Alaska Airlines flight. The stunning video filmed from the middle seat behind the row where the door plug detached. Passenger Quang Tran losing his socks, shoes, and cell phone, suffering the injuries shown in these photos. Tran telling ABC News he thought he'd get sucked out feet first. And this 15-year-old boy had his shirt torn from his body as he was sitting across the aisle. The new look inside the cabin comes as the flight's door plug arrived at NTSB's lab in Washington, D.C., where it will undergo testing to figure out what went wrong. FAA Administrator Michael Whitaker told Reuters Friday, "It's pretty clear to us it's a manufacturing issue." Nearly 200 Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets have been grounded since last Saturday. The FAA now asking Boeing for more data before it approves final inspection protocols to return those planes to the skies.
These new FAA actions point to just how concerned the FAA is about the quality control here, that something so small, something that's so basic about installing bolts properly could have been overlooked and possibly led to a tragic mishap.
The new requirements come as 6 of the passengers on that plane are now suing Boeing, filing a complaint alleging the event physically injured some passengers and emotionally traumatized most, if not all, aboard.
I mean, this is a lifelong memory that is not a good one, and that many will be carrying with them for a long time. They also want answers. They want answers as to how this happened.
Alaska Airlines says they provided a full refund to passengers and an additional cash payment of $1,500 to cover any incidental expenses. Alaska Airlines is not listed as a defendant in the complaint. Boeing and subsidiary Spirit Aerosystems say they will fully cooperate with the FAA investigation. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, Palouse Falls is stunning, and it is a beautiful natural waterfall that drops 200 feet into a churning bowl, and then that water winds through a gorge and into the mighty Snake River. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we're giving you a bird's eye view of one of the most popular waterfalls in Washington.
When I came out here, he says, well, there's one place you got to go, and so this is how we ended up right here. It's absolutely spectacular. You come around the corner and all of a sudden it's shocking because you see all this flat land and then there's the waterfall, and it's hard to decide which direction to look at. It's a very humbling experience being here. You know, part of it is not only the natural things, but to read that people were actually here 10, 12,000 years ago. And you know, when you come to a place like this, you appreciate what we've been given, the legacy of this, and you just want to do everything you can to maintain and sustain it. No matter where you are or where you go, you know, this is just, many levels, just, I hate to use the word it's trite, but it's awesome.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
No matter what your children's dreams might be, or how often they might change, with the Get College Saving Program, you can start saving for the future. Don't borrow your children's future, build it at 529.wa.gov.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle, and that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With the easyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Fred's Appliance has GE Profile appliances on sale with smart leading-edge features that make life a little easier.
Smart features and sophisticated designs to simplify your life.
Profile dishwashers are quiet, powerful, and offer flexible loading options.
Fred's has more kitchen packages than you'll find anywhere. Save on GE appliances with up to $2,000 in rebates at your local Fred's Appliance.
Fred's has appliances in stock and on sale. Stop in and see us today.
Joni here. Before you decide on an SUV, I invite you to see and drive the Volkswagen Tiguan. It's impressive and it checks all the boxes. A roomy interior, plenty of cargo space with remote power liftgate. All-wheel drive, that's important in the Northwest. Solid performance, modern infotainment system with all the high-tech choices. Check out the Tiguan at your nearby Post Falls Volkswagen, the home of 0000.
No matter what your children's dreams might be or how often they might change, with the Get College Saving Program, you can start saving for the future. Don't borrow your children's future, build it at 529.wa.gov.
Well, after beating Santa Clara on Thursday evening, the Gonzaga Bulldogs returned to the court this afternoon in search of their 16th win of the season as they faced off against a last-place San Diego team that proved to be a bit trickier than many would have expected coming into the day. In the first half, Kaylee Trong going one-on-one, drives to the basket, gets the bucket to go and the foul. All part of a 21-point day for her. But the Bulldogs a little careless with the ball in the first half as Bree Salenbean turns the ball over and Jess Finney there for the steal, takes it up the court and finishes with the layup. The Toreros did their best to keep up with the Bulldogs, but that Gonzaga offense was just too good. Eliza Hollingsworth with a nice little turnaround shot that goes. Bulldogs take a 10-point lead going into the break. In the second half, it's a lot of the same. Zags in transition. This time it's going to be Kaylin Trong hitting the three from the wing. She finishes with 11 points, and the Bulldogs starting to roll now. More three-point shooting on display. A few minutes later, it's going to be Callie Stokes. Left all alone, you can't do that because she knocks it down. Stokes, a lot of great minutes off the bench so far this season. Zags led by as many as 22 in the fourth quarter. And here's the dagger. Kaylin passes off to sister Lee, and she knocks it down. Number 16 Bulldogs remain undefeated in WCC play. They get the 85-67 win.
I thought they guarded us pretty well. They made it difficult, lots of pressure. They tried to, They pushed us away from the basket a little bit more than we'd like to be, and just made some of those passes a little bit difficult. But ultimately, we had more good plays than they had defensive plays, more offensive plays than they had defensive plays. Yeah.
Now, next up for the Bulldogs will be a trip down to Los Angeles where they're going to take on Loyola Marymount on Thursday evening. Then they're going to return home to face off against St. Mary's on Saturday. Now let's head down to Pullman where the Washington State men were in action, taking on Tommy Lloyd and the 8th-ranked Arizona Wildcats. Do we have an upset brewing? Answer is yes. In the first half, Jalen Wells drives in, hangs in the air for the score. Cougs take an early lead, but a little bit careless with the ball here. Andre Yakimovsky turns it over. Pelle Larson takes it the other way for the score. Hard to take down that Wildcats team. Kamani Huinsu with the shot winding down, buries a long fadeaway two in the corner. Washington State gaining some confidence now. Not done on the offensive end. Andre Yakimovsky with the three, and that'll do it. Washington State holds on for the 73-70 upset win.
This is a top-tier quad one win for us, and you got to have a decent amount of those, or to have your name in that conversation. And I just think it just goes to prove that we can compete with anybody in the country, no matter whether it's on the road, at home, in a neutral site. We got the guys in the locker room and the coaches in the locker room as well to go out there and do what we need to do, and our fans support us 100%.
Now, just when you thought the college football season was over and there would be no news after this crazy week, the transfer portal has other ideas as former Washington State quarterback Cam Ward is back in it. This time he's committing to the University of Miami this afternoon. It's a bit of a head scratcher for many people considering Ward declared for the NFL draft
just less than 2 weeks ago. Originally, Ward was deciding between Miami and Florida State or the draft, but there's a good chance that money was talking in this decision, and it's believed that Cam is going to be making upwards of $1 million down in Miami, all part of a nice NIL package. In his 2 seasons in Pullman, he accounted for more than 60 touchdowns and threw for nearly 7,000 yards. Hurricanes are going to open up their 2024 season against the Florida Gators down in the Swamp. Must-see TV. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
It's not an I thing, Dad. It's a we thing.
Get a large 2-topping take and bake pizza for just $10.99. Order now at papamurphys.com.
May I please have the Cobb salad, no cheese, no bacon, extra tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and dressing on the side? Do you have pea and olives?
Wow, that is an order.
Perfect. I like things the way I like them.
It makes sense. At the Advocates, we're just as picky about what we demand for our clients.
Our clients deserve what they deserve.
Exactly. We won't stand for anything less.
Now, for dessert,
Oh, no.
I'll have the white chocolate.
Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
Comfort and peace. When a loved one is in need of end-of-life care, it's more than care. It's warmth and dignity in the face of advanced illness. Courage binds us all. The courage in facing a terminal illness together. Our care team have dedicated their lives to alleviating pain, discomfort, and providing licensed around-the-clock medical attention. We are Hospice of North Idaho, and we are honored to care for your loved one.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
It's the after Christmas year-end clearance this week at Snell's Auto, where you can save 24% off lift kits, tonneau truck covers, and remote car starts with bigger than ever markdowns on all stereo gear.
Snell's Auto. It's a 4-day price crash today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
It's not an I thing, Dad. It's a we thing.
Get a large 2-topping take and bake pizza for just $10.99. Order now at papamurphys.com.
We came back to tell you it's still cold out. Matt?
Stay warm out there, friends.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.